Champions of the world, maybe not. But the boys from France who've come from Rafah are the newly crowned kings of Gaza football. For 2 weeks, some of the world's traditional powerhouses of the game, including Italy, France, England, and Germany, have been battling it out on Gaza's football pitches, all for the coveted title. The idea was the brainchild of American NGO worker Patrick McGann, who set up the 8-team World Cup tournament with the help of the United Nations Development Program, the Bank of Palestine, and local sponsors.
I think the Gaza World Cup is a very unique opportunity for the rest of the world to learn about Gaza, the rest of the world to learn that Gaza is not a wasteland, that it hasn't been bonded in submission, that a lot of people live here, a lot of good people live here, that are so welcoming and so warm and understanding, that me as an American can walk around Gaza, can organize events like this, and meet so many wonderful people. I want the rest of the world to understand how wonderful and how optimistic and hopeful the people of Gaza are, and how they'd be excellent partners in moving forward if only we'd talk with them.
If these players look different from the superstar athletes gearing up for the real World Cup in South Africa next month, that's because these so-called national teams are made up of players from Gaza's local amateur ones. Alongside the local teams, foreign aid workers, volunteers, activists, and journalists who live and work here all came to play for Gaza, helping give this tournament an international feel. But the Champions Trophy had a distinctly local feel to it. It was melted and molded from the shrapnel of missiles dropped on the territory during the 2008 Israeli war on Gaza.
By all accounts, the tournament was a huge success for the organizers and the players. In fact, the final and the closing ceremonies were broadcast live to tens of millions of homes via satellite. And the two teams that made it to the finals, both Rafah and Khan Yunis, are powerhouses in the local league, which made it that much more exciting for the fans who came to watch them.
This tournament is important because we want to show both Arabs and Europeans that in spite of the siege, we're still able to go through with this, a championship that represents entire nations. And we hope that this will improve the relationship between Palestinians and people in the rest of the world, because football is the language that can be understood by all nations.
And the fans weren't disappointed. In the end, it was France who won the cup after beating Jordan in a penalty shootout in front of a packed crowd that included the deposed Prime Minister Ismail Haniyeh and other dignitaries. Though Gazans will be denied from traveling to South Africa to cheer for their favorite national teams at this year's World Cup, for the past 2 weeks, they've reveled in having the world's game brought to them. Ayman, Mohyeldin, Al Jazeera, Gaza.